What is happening? Welcome to the Plus Pitch Podcast, more pitching podcast from PitcherList.com. My name is Nick Pollock. Today is August 7th, and yes, we're going to talk about baseball. I've got some surprises for you. I'm talking to Matt Vasgersian today on the craft, so go check out that interview. I cannot wait to talk to him. Also, yes, we have our baseball dashboard coming out. It is an addition to the PL Pro dashboard. It is a new tool. It is my personal pitcher dashboard. It is incredible. I have made so many changes, so many little tweaks to it. You guys are going to love this, from play-by-play to analyzing every single pitch type to their entire season. It's literally what I use to do this podcast and make the SP Roundup every single day. So go check it out. You get 15% off our promo code dashboard. Use it today. If you do that for yearly PL Pro, you get it through the end of next year. We're adding so many things like importing your teams and live draft assistant in the offseason, all of our projections, 20 million things. Go sign up, support us through the lockout right now. 15% off with promo code dashboard when you get PL Pro yearly. Framber Valdez yesterday, 7 innings of 0 earned runs, 5 hits, 2 walks in 5 Ks. He wasn't the lead, and I'll get to him later. That is Renhair Suarez, but we'll talk about that. And Framber Valdez, oh my gosh, this is an amazing start. Yeah, the curveball was fine, 61% strikes, but it wasn't the game that you thought it was. This was a situation where Framber Valdez got 4 double plays to end it. It was insane. He got so lucky inside of Seattle against the Mariners, and he had 4 total whiffs. It is not the game that you wanted it to be. Dylan Cease went 7 innings of 0 runs, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 10 strikeouts. It's beautiful. He was down a tick, so a little bit worrisome there that he was down over a tick velocity, and he did throw a lot of strikes, though. It was 65% with the four-seamer and 72% with the slider. That's really all you need to know with it. I'm just very happy he did that. He also did not throw in the middle of the plate at all to right-handers. Great things there. The changeup, not as good, by the way, sub 40% strikes. But the velocity is a little worrisome. He did ramp up. He is maybe adapting to that. He's doing something where it's slower early on and then having the gas later on in the game, where, by the way, he had like 94.7 in the first inning and then 95 and 96. And then he pushed it all the way to 97 by the 6th and the 7th inning. So that's fine with me. Don't worry about the velocity dropping. Martin Perez and, of course, Jansen Junk both went only 3 innings. Why? Because there was a rain delay. At first, there wasn't even anyone reporting about it with Martin Perez. He only went 35 pitches. There was obviously some injury scare with him before. He came off a really hot start here, and it was 3 shutout innings of no-hit ball with 1 walk and 3 Ks. It's a little disappointing that happened. He gets the Mets next. If you want to go with that, by all means, go and do it. It's fine. 5.2 innings of 1 earned run, 3 hits, 3 walks, 1 K. Who is that who did not butter our bread? That is Michael Wacha for just 4 whiffs. Oh my gosh, I don't know how he got through this, save for Koufax being a super, super kind fellow. It is nice to see. It is against the Twins, and he gets the Dodgers next. When you see Michael Wacha and the fact that he's not really at his peak at the moment, it's a little bit worrisome, but you still might be able to get away with a start against the Dodgers up next. David Peterson also got away with 1. It was 5 innings of 1 earned run, but 10 base runners, 7 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts with the Cubs. What I've seen the last 2 starts was that the sinker was down and away consistently to right-handers with four-seamers up and in. That was not the case. The strike rate on the sinker was 54%. The strike rate on the four-seamer was 46%. He was struggling massively with it. A lot of the hits were the ones that came over the plate with that slider and that sinker. This is kind of the guy I was scared about, and you didn't even get a win in this one. So it's a dusty donut, 1 earned run in 5 innings. That's great. But a 2 whip, only 3 strikeouts, and no quality start, no win. Yeah, that was fortunate. Thank you so much, Koufax, for that one. Ryan Johnson, is this a showcase of how bad the Orioles are hitting right now? Maybe. But it was 4.2 innings of 1 earned run, 3 hits, 5 walks, 1 strikeout. How am I supposed to butter my rubber with this? Nobody got whiffs yesterday, clearly. Framber, very few whiffs. Walk a few whiffs. Peterson, few whiffs. This was 4 for Ryan Johnson. You do not want to go after Ryan Johnson. He is almost like a right-handed Ryan Yarbrough at best. This was a 43% strike rate on his sinker, 47% overall. 5 walks and 4.2 innings. Just 1 earned run. Unbelievable. Walker Buehler, guess how many whiffs he had? 5. 4 innings of 1 earned run, 3 hits, 1 walk, and 3 Ks. He's doing something interesting where he's moving away from the major breaking balls, the sweeper and the curveball. The sweeper's pretty much gone. It's really a slider now. Curveball was thrown once, and he's leaning into the cutter with four-seamer sinkers and changeups with sliders as well. They're about 17% of the time. Nothing that's interesting to me. It was a 54% strike rate on that cutter at 91, 92, and it is not a good one. It has a sweep to it at 4 to 5 inches of negative horizontal movement, but about 9 vert to it. I don't love it. I just don't like his command. It's very just to me. Dustin May went to the Brewers, and we were wondering, Is he going to change? Is he going to be any different? 6 innings, 200 runs, 3 hits, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. That's great. 11 whiffs. Hey, look at that. We got some whiffs on somebody. He could have had more strikeouts here because he had a 61% 2-strike rate, but just a very low per batter 36% put away rate. That is something that we want to monitor a bit because individually, we only had an 18% put away rate on all of his pitches. The sweeper did do its job. It was 1 out of 4 there. And the cutter did as well at 40%, but the four-seamer is utilized and it did not come through. The sinker and the changeup tried as well. Those need to be better. And honestly, I would just say don't try those in those situations. Try more sweepers, try more cutters. Those are clearly the effective ones. I'm actually really surprised to tell you he got 2 strikeouts on sweepers. And what's so weird to me is that he didn't throw it once in a 2-strike count to right-handers. I don't understand that one, but whatever. Anyway, Dustin May did throw more cutters. We kind of thought he would when he became a Brewer, and you normally don't see any sort of pitch changes in the first start because it's really just get your footing. Let's just do your thing, and then we'll talk in the routine of the next bullpen. It's possible he did get some time before this one. I mean, this was 3-4 days after the trade happened. So it's possible he did have a bullpen, some conversation, was able to work in more cutters, and they were very effective. An 80% strike rate on a 15% swing strike rate. If he had a better four-seamer, which was sub 50% strikes in this one, this could have been an even better outing. You should really like Dustin May. And by the way, this was against the Pirates, who are good against right-handers. Now he gets the Padres and Mariners and the Mets. I dig it a lot. Christopher Sanchez, is he an ace? Well, he's trying to get back to it. And this is not going to help his case. Yes, it was 5 innings with 6 Ks. That's cool. 200 runs and not terrible, but not a quality start. He did get a win, sure. 8 base runners, 6 hits, 2 walks. And I got to mention to you, the whip that he has had over his last 6 games have been destructive. I mean, sure, I am including the 12-hit game and the 10-hit game, and that's a 160 whip, including those 2. But even if I remove those 2, it's a 139 whip in his last 4 games with an 8.5 hit per 9 and the walk rates consistently staying up here. This is 3, 5, and 2 in the last few games after doing 1, 1, and 0 in the previous 3. In fact, he had not had a single game of more than 2 walks since April 30th. And yet he had twice in his last 3 games. Christopher Sanchez just is not the same kind of pitcher that he was before. 41% strikes on that changeup cannot be the guy that we want to see moving forward. Now, I do expect it to get better, right? But he is not an ace at the moment, and we just got to hope that he does turn it on in the second half here. Jansen Junk, like I mentioned before, with Martin Perez, did have his start shortened because of the rain delay. So it's 3 innings of 200 runs, 5 hits, 1 walk, and just 1 strikeout. How am I supposed to butter my bread with this? But it was just 1 whiff on 47 pitches. So it's not like Jansen Junk would have been a different guy if he went longer on. He was really not feeling it whatsoever. The velocity was down a tick on his four-seamer. It was donut command of down the middle or outside the zone. Not the guy that you want him to be. Andrew Abbott, by the way, it's Andrew Abbott things. It was 2 outs more than a very poor quality start because it was 6.2 innings, not 6.0, of 300 runs and 9 base runners exactly. 4 Ks, 10 whiffs, low 2-strike rate, low put away rate for him. Actually, in the entire season, it's only a 34% put away rate, which is really a showcase of why he's an 18% strikeout rate guy, not like the 21% of previous years, right? The overall put away rate that you should be expecting for everyone is about 45%. The better guys are closer to 50 or 55, but 34, that means when you get to 2 strikeouts, you're just not getting those strikeouts that you should be getting, right? And what I see here from Andrew Abbott is that he's allowing a lot of hits, really just middle height to right-handers. If he's able to go a little bit further out, there's only really 1 or 2 pitches that actually got the outer edge. Four-seamers, changeups, and curveballs all allowed hits here. I just think it's Andrew Abbott. He had a good situation where he's hosting the Athletics, not really his strongest team. And look, he did have a really tough 4th inning and then was clean otherwise. It was all 3 earned runs in that 4th and almost finished 7 here. If it weren't for a single with 2 outs on a ground ball that just happened to make it to right field. A bad fastball up and away, or middle away. So Andrew Abbott is still kind of the same guy that you've known him to be. He has a 3.92 ERA and a 1.39 whip. That sounds about right. Bailey Ober, is he still good? He had a productive start yesterday in some ways and not in others. And we'll talk about him and many more guys like Brandon Young. What are we doing with Bryce Miller? Oh my gosh, a lot of bad ones. Like Foster Griffin, and you also have Noah McClain. We got to talk about all of this. Braxton Ashcraft after this break. Bailey Ober, 6 innings of 300 runs, 6 hits, 0 walks, and 0 strikeouts. How am I supposed to butter my bread with this? That's right. No walks and no strikeouts. He is the anti-3 true outcome guy. 0 home runs for 6 innings. And I don't care. I mean, how do you do this? It is sub 87 miles per hour again, 86.8. I'm absolutely flabbergasted that this happened here. I actually apologize with that. It is 87.4 total on the velocity. I should give him more credit. It's 87.88, Bailey Ober, not under 87. The velocity I was quoting were the hits he allowed. And I just don't get it. It is a massive risk. You can blame it on the Royals if you want here. 0 strikeouts, 0 walks, 0 home runs. Koufax, you are so kind to get 18 outs here, all in play. Oh my gosh. All right. The Orioles and Atlanta's next. I just, no, can't do it. Brandon Young, speaking of the Orioles, 4.1 innings of 300 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, and 4 Ks, 14 whiffs though. And what's a little interesting here is that he's still getting a lot of whiffs on that 4-seamer. 28% swing strike rate, 65% strike rate, 38% CSW. Bad put away rate, only 31%. Overall here, he normally is about 40% plus. And this was a lot of right-handers. Now, Brandon Young has performed well, mostly against left-handers. This was a case where against the Angels, they sent up a lot of right-handers, and the slider was not as effective as the splitter can be to left-handers. Now, the splitter, by the way, was 3 for 10 strikes, so it wasn't even productive anyway today. And to Brandon Young's credit, he did locate that slider down and away often, but it still only returned 2 over 20 whiffs. That's not what we want to see. I can still see how he's going to get the runway here in the rotation for the Orioles. I think he's got the inside lane to both Chris Bassett and Cade Povich at the moment. And I mean, look, it's a 3.43 ERA. They're not going to turn that away. He goes at Minnesota. That's still worth a questionable start stream. And then he gets the Rays twice. And I think that's okay too, especially in the domed Tropicana that adds vert. So he's already at 16 to 17 inches of vert. We always see at least 1, if not 2 inches extra when you go into the dome. So I'm okay with those. It's you just got to really figure out that slider to right-handers a little bit more. What do you know? How am I supposed to butter my bread with this? With Cole Drake, 3.2 innings of 300 runs, 6 hits, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. What is up with Thursday's games? I don't know. Just 3 whiffs. Yeah, you don't need me to tell you that this is donut command and not really what you want. He is close to pulling it off against right-handers. You can kind of see he's going down with the changeup and up a bit with the 4-seamer and inside with the cutter, and curveballs are around, and it's just not enough. By the way, also against lefties, so many sliders just over the plate. Yeah, no, this is not the guy that you want. 4% overall swing strike rate. I mean, just it's not it. We're going to also check out, of course, Ranher Suarez. And Ranher Suarez is my lead tonight for the SP round, or rather for the day. You'll see it later this afternoon. A very busy day. Lots of things going on in my personal life, and I'll go into that another time. But it's laying lots of things. Anyway, Ranher Suarez, 3 innings, 300 runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts, 4 runs. He had an error in this game in that 4th inning that just elongated for ages. It was a 2-run shots early on, and then you had lots of singles, a walk, and it just kind of kept going. So the thing about Ranher is that this now marks, I'd say, 3-4 games where you've been really disappointed with him. He had the IL moment on July 5th. And we didn't see him until July 26th. He looked good in that one for the most part. It looked like, okay, this is fine. We're back to normal in 64 pitches. But then he only went 65 against the Dodgers. And now it's 70 in 3 innings. He's not hit 5 innings since June 29th. And the main thing I've talked about with Ranher Suarez and a lot of these Vargas rules of the past is that it's all about rhythm and command. And you can really just see from the strike zone plots, are these guys executing how they want to be executing? With Ranher, he is not. He is not having this amazing pitch separation with his sinker inside to the left-handers and sliders down away to right-handers, cutters getting inside to right-handers and 4-seamers and sinkers away. It's not changeups down, curveballs down. Curveball actually did get down, to his credit. He got that one, but this is not the Ranher Suarez you want, and not even fully stretched out. So if you are in a situation where you have some really fun options to go for, and Ranher Suarez is the worst guy on your team, I'm okay. You can take a chance on someone else instead of Ranher Suarez. There's an argument to be made that you want Jacob Lopez more than Ranher Suarez because it's the supply-demand chart where they're crossing over. It's not supply-demand. You understand. where Lopez is in rhythm versus out of rhythm of Suarez. And look, there are so few weeks left in your seasons. A lot of you are just trying to fight for a playoff spot at this moment for like the next few weeks. To give me the guy who's in rhythm as opposed to the one who's not. You have Braxton Ashcraft, who, oh man, this is so disappointing, isn't it? He did not give you that kind of studly start that you're used to. 5 innings of 4 runs, 4 hits, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. And he's really been struggling since the end of June when he had that 6th inning 5 earned run game against the Phillies. He's since also had a 5 earned run game against the Brewers on the 11th of July, 7 earned runs against the Yankees on the 20th, 4 against the Cubs on the 26th, and now 4 again, of course, on August 6th. What is going on? The way I see it, he's just not getting the same kind of whiffs that he used to. This wasn't even the left-handers getting more hits on him. He only allowed 1 hit to a lefty. It was 4 against right-handers. He allowed 2 home runs in this one. There was 2. It was 1 solo shot rather in the 5th inning. Then he had a solo shot early on to Churia. I mean, who hasn't, right? No. But what I'm trying to get, I'm sorry, I was thinking of Caminero because I'm a pitching guy. What I don't like to see is that the 4-seamer is getting used about 31% of the time, and that is not a whiff pitch. Right, that is just not the pitch that we really want to see getting opportunities in 2-strike counts at all. And he's doing it 37% of the 4-seamers he throws in 2-strike counts. Now, the curveball and slider failed to get a single strikeout against right-handers. And really, the main story here is that Braxton Ashcraft is only as good as his breaking pitches. If those are doing all the things at the right time and getting a ton of whiffs, things are great. He is not doing that. 10% on the slider in this game, 15% on the curveball. Those are not the whiffs that you want to see. Not great for Braxton Ashcraft. We just got to hope he gets it back against the Marlins and the Tigers. Movement is still there. It's just really about executing the location of them, especially the slider down to the lefties, and just nail that corner, please. You have Bryce Miller, who looked better. It was a 3 earned run first inning with a 2-run shot by Dingler on the only cutter he threw the entire game in a 2-1 count up and away. Annoying. But otherwise, I mean, I liked this version of Bryce Miller a lot more. The other 4 innings he pitched was 1 earned run, and it was 5 innings of 4 earned runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, 5 Ks. It was encouraging. Yes, 95.7. But the other element has been the command of pitches, and this was more sweepers down and away, better splitters and curveballs as well. I like this a lot more. We saw strike rates above 60% on everything, 62% plus with the sweeper at 62, and then it's 67% on the splitter, 68 on the 4-seamer, and 71 on the curve. Those are good marks. We like that. And I'm more encouraged. Yes, it was at home, and he does go into the Bronx and then goes into Milwaukee the next 2. It is a little scary, and I don't blame you. I'm going to do it. Nolan McLean also not looking like how you want him to. 5 innings, 5 earned runs, 8 hits, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Oh boy, this was against the Guardians, and this was a clear case of few strikes. 4-seamer, sinker, curveball, most thrown pitches there. I mean, the curveball at 19, we have 11 sweepers, 10 cutters. Those did get some strikes, but rare whiffs, only 1 between them in 21. And the other pitches, it's just all sub 60% strikes. I can't give you what you want, guys, unless Nolan McLean showcases that he has a good left-handed attack and a good right-handed attack. Obviously, he only got lefties here and didn't have it. It's disappointing. You carry on. You start him against Atlanta. Mason Barnett pitched for the Athletics in Cincinnati. It was interesting. 4-point innings of 5 earned runs, 3 hits, 7 Ks, but I kind of dig his stuff over time. It is a fun cut fastball at 95 miles per hour, but I am not seeing enough yet, and we're just going to wait until it's good. 3 home runs. I mean, look at Cincinnati. Luis Castillo debuted for the White Sox, and what do you know? Not very good. It was in Fenway and just terrible. 4 innings, 5 earned runs, 6 hits, 1 walk, 5 Ks. If you got to watch that game all the way through, you're lucky. That was an incredible ball game. You have Foster Griffin making his debut for the Guardians. 4 innings of 5 earned runs, 7 hits, 2 walks, and 6 Ks. And here's the thing. Foster Griffin has been struggling for a bit. He was struggling before he even got dealt. The last 5 games, really, I would say 5 of his last 6, he's had sub 10 whiffs across the board. And that is very startling. In the last 3 games, or rather 4 games, have been 8, 8, 7, 8. So what's going on with this? The way I see it is that his changeup and his curveball were more whiff pitches. They are not really getting consistent whiffs now. And the 4-seamer that would come in and get whiffs is not being there. Essentially, what would always happen with Foster Griffin is that something would appear, right? Some days he would have the sweeper getting more whiffs or the changeup, and he would just go to something else in his back pocket. What's happening now is that he's not really having the same depth of arsenal. The changeup and the four-seamer are letting him down a ton. We're talking about sub 20% CSW. Same with the curveball actually in this one. But both of those, the changeup had a 23% strike rate. The four-seamer at a 53%. This was really him not commanding in the same way he was before. It doesn't mean he can't anymore. And it is too good of a schedule. It's at Detroit and then hosting the Giants. I think you got to stick with it and hope that he finds it again. At least he got 6 strikeouts this time. But yeah, it is very, very tough right now. And then you have Miles Mikolas, who is still with the Nationals. I don't get it why they got rid of Littell and not Mikolas, but 5 innings, 6 earned runs, 12 hits, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. How am I supposed to butter my bread with that? I don't know. And his velocity was also way down, 1 to 2 ticks. Or at 91 now for Miles Mikolas. Absolutely not. All right, that is it. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the Plus Pitch podcast and the SB Roundup from Jake Crumpler, who's doing this now with video. So check that out on YouTube as well. But that is it. So my name is Nick Pollock, and may your BABIPs be low and your strikeouts high.